this thing working? Give me some sound over here.
Yeah.
The Out of Bounds Show is powered by the award-winning golf courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Parker Noland with 2 outs in the 9th. Pushes a bunt to third. James to first. He's out! What a way to end it! And what a way to end a drought. Mississippi State, the national champions, destroying Vanderbilt 9-0.
Good morning. Welcome in. That was the call from Game 3. Mississippi State won the national championship, beating Vanderbilt, College World Series. That was Carl Ravitch calling the game right there. And you're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. The show is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. You can watch the show right now. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Tanner Allen, TA in the house. One of the leaders on the national championship team for Mississippi State this past year, kind enough to join us in studio. You can watch it on YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. TA, good morning. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I would think it's been a pretty good 6 months.
It has been, man. It really has been.
So baseball's a little weird. When you play that long into the college season, and y'all won it on June 30th, so you wake up July 1, you go do the big celebration in Starkville, the big, parade, party, and so on. And then I guess you had about a week or a week and a half, and all of a sudden you're back with the Marlins?
Back, yeah.
Or with the Marlins, right?
With the Marlins, that was. It was tough, man, because like I said, told you last night, I just got done playing in front of 30,000 people and playing for a national championship on ESPN, and then 2 weeks later, you're playing down in Florida somewhere with 5 people at the game, with Dominicans that don't speak English. It's funny how it works.
Yeah, and the fact that there were like 20,000+ people at the national championship parade and party going through Main Street and at Duty Noble Field.
Man, that was wild. I remember, we're all at the fire station getting ready, and we're like, I wonder how long this thing goes. And, man, it went throughout basically the whole town. It was fun going by Two Brothers and people, popping champagne on you and stuff. I'll never forget it. It was a blast.
Did you feel like – how is it as a player? So you're in the saddle, so to speak. You're playing all these great teams, Texas, Virginia, Vanderbilt. Did you feel like you were out there forever, or did it not feel like that because you're playing and on your days off you're still going and
man, it was just like we just took it one game at a time, so it really wasn't too bad. Like you said, the key was we kept winning to get days off.
Right.
And when we get days off, we'd kind of rest, and get our feet back under us, and we were ready to go 100% for 9 innings or however long it took. And previous years, we got beat a couple times, and I remember it kind of gets to you. You get gas because if you're coming through the losers bracket, man, you got to keep winning every single day. You're running out of pitching. Everybody's getting worn out. So being able to win those games early in the tournament is a big part of it.
So January, February this past year, you're getting ready. It's your last season. Mississippi State was fortunate in some respects that COVID hit because you could have been gone after the 2020 season.
Right.
You, Rowdy, among others. And so did you feel like it was a legitimate, like this team could have a shot to win the national championship?
For sure. I remember talking to my dad a lot. I'm like, I'm coming back for a reason. There's a reason I'm coming back. God's sending me back here for a reason, and I truly believe it. And I can remember laying in bed at night just daydreaming about it. Just like, man, what would happen if we won a national championship? And that's when we made a decision, this year especially, was we're going to do everything we can. This is not – I don't want to go back to Omaha for the third year. I want to go win it my third year there, and then the way everything kind of fell together, it was just the family of the team, the camaraderie, everything was just perfect, man. And we had a really good feeling early in the year. And, we had a lot of talent, a lot of new talent.
I was about to say, all these guys that we were talking about last night at dinner, you and Rowdy had been through the fire.
Right.
But Hancock and Cumbest and Cam James. And
Scotty DeBrule.
Scotty DeBrule. these guys had not been through the whole.
Right. Yeah, some of those guys, we were starting the year, some of those guys hadn't even played an SEC game yet. Remember, because the season got canceled the weekend to Arkansas, or the week Arkansas was supposed to come to Starkville.
Right.
SEC play.
Right.
So I remember that was another thing. I'm like, man, we got some talent, but we don't have that much experience. It was mainly me, Rowdy Hatch, maybe Spencer Price, Riley Self.
That's right.
A couple of those guys that have been through SEC play, and that's very, very tough.
So Logan Tanner, Hancock, Cam James, Cumbus, DeBrule, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you still felt good about it.
Still felt really good about it because I watched the way, I'm telling you, like in the fall, it wasn't very much pitchers dominated hitters dominated pitchers. It was kind of even keel.
Ah.
You know what I mean? It was kind of, we knew we had some arms because everybody we were running out there was throwing 92, 93, 94, 95, And then you turn around and look from the other side, and we got guys banging the ball all over the park. I'm like, man, I'm facing our pitchers. I know they're really good, and then we're still banging them, so that's a good sign.
What was it like to face Landon Sims in scrimmages?
Okay, so I got a funny story for you. So
Okay.
the first time I faced Landon Sims, COVID year,
Okay.
he comes in, he's throwing pretty hard, man. I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be pretty good. So he throws me the first fastball. I think I hit it 108 down the right field line, and it was foul. And he was laughing. He was kind of laughing. It's like he was like, that's kind of my welcome to college. And I think he struck me out later that bat. So he always messes with me. He's like, you ain't never got to hit off me and stuff. So this past fall, my first at bat against him, I doubled off the left field wall. So I'm like, there, I finally got
Did you let him know about it?
Oh yeah, I let him know about it because he'll let you know about it.
Sure.
But that's the kind of attitude you want out of your closing pitcher. Be a little cocky. You know what I mean? I love it.
But you knew last fall this dude could ball.
Oh, for sure, man. Just because his mentality, his presence on the mound, you know what I mean? That all comes into play. And then when you go up there and see it, it's like his fastball looks like it's about to touch the ground, then it's right down the middle because it spins it so hard.
So you guys are two of the more vocal guys on the team?
He was pretty vocal. I think he led more by example.
Okay.
I love that too. You know what I mean? He would help the pitchers. I remember we'd have a tough game. We had a game this year that I think we got beat. I can't remember which one it was. But everybody's going crazy on Twitter. You know what I mean? We're used to the whole thing. It's like it's another day in the office of us getting beat. We'll get dogged on Twitter, come back and win some games. Everybody be back on board. But anyways, I remember coming in like the tunnel going into the field. I was talking to Riley Self, and I was like, "Look, you and Landon get the pitchers right. I'm gonna handle the hitters. We'll be just fine." And then from then on, dude, it was just like we started moving again.
So Riley Self was a great presence on the team. He was kind of a player coach type
He
deal.
was. He had the experience. He knew what it took. Obviously he hurt his arm, couldn't pitch, but he coached first for us all year long.
Right.
He could have easily packed it in, but I'm telling you, Riley was a big part.
That's cool that he stayed on.
He stayed on for sure. He helped. Like Riley was there when you needed him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd always pick you up because he knew. I mean, look at our season in 2018.
Right.
We were at the bottom of the bottom. And we still can't find a way to come back and get to Omaha. So he knew that, hey, it might be bad now, but just get through it and just see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Is it I mean, you just finished your career at Mississippi State, but like, do you think about it and go, gosh, I was fortunate to go to 3 CWSs? Like every year you played, you went to the CWS?
Like I said last year, I mean, I was committed to LSU, one of probably the top 5 best programs in the country.
No question.
No question about it. Went to a couple games, loved it as electric. It just wasn't my place. So I decommit and signed with Mississippi State, and that has been the best decision of my life. I mean, I look back at some buddies I had to go to LSU. They didn't go to one super regional. I went to Omaha 3 times and won it the 3rd time.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
And the fact that you had never been to Dudy Noble Field, is that right?
That's correct, because all my visits were to LSU. At the time, I always go to LSU games, so I never got a chance to go to Dudy Noble.
All right, we got to talk about that. We're going to take a break, and on the other side, we'll do a little bit deeper dive into the recruitment and how T.A. Tanner Allen ended up in Starkville, Mississippi, playing at Dudy Noble Field and eventually a national champion. You want to watch the show? Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Tanner Allen in the house, TA, SEC Player of the Year, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Tanner Allen joins us on the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale guest line.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
In any industry, businesses come and go, but we've been here in the greater Jackson and Vicksburg areas for almost 25 years. We couldn't do that without a dedicated, friendly staff and without loyal customers who trust us. It's really not that complicated. We take good care of our employees and we take great care of our customers. We think that's a pretty good way to run a business. I'm Nick Fulton, and our business is USA Pawn.
Football season is here, and Four Roses Bourbon would like to raise a toast as we celebrate game day. Whether you're sipping on Four Roses Bourbon at the hunting camp, by the fire pit, on the patio, or outdoor kitchen, handcraft the moment with Four Roses Bourbon as they celebrate 130 years. Cheers to Four Roses Bourbon and football season. Be mellow, be responsible.
Honey, don't forget your mom's birthday present.
It's a whole new shopping experience at USA Pawn. We have an amazing selection of quality merchandise, from jewelry and home goods to tools and furniture. And with our prices, it's like everything's always on sale.
What'd you get your mother?
USA Pawn, 3 locations in the Jackson area, plus Vicksburg, Pearl, and Canton. Get mega more at your mega store, USA Pawn.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
In any industry, businesses come and go, but we've been here in the greater Jackson and Vicksburg areas for almost 25 years. We couldn't do that without a dedicated, friendly staff and without loyal customers who trust us. It's really not that complicated. We take good care of our employees and we take great care of our customers. We think that's a pretty good way to run a business. I'm Nick Fulton, and our business is USA Pawn.
Football season is here, and Four Roses Bourbon would like to raise a toast as we celebrate game day. Whether you're sipping on Four Roses Bourbon at the hunting camp, by the fire pit, on the patio, or outdoor kitchen, handcraft the moment with Four Roses Bourbon as they celebrate 130 years. Cheers to Four Roses Bourbon and football season. Be mellow, be responsible.
Honey, don't forget your mom's birthday present.
It's a whole new shopping experience at USA Pawn. We have an amazing selection of quality merchandise, from jewelry and home goods to tools and furniture. And with our prices, it's like everything's always on sale.
What'd you get your mother?
USA Pawn, 3 locations in the Jackson area, plus Vicksburg, Pearl, and Canton. Get mega more at your mega store, USA Pawn.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans.
Come on. Everyone ready?
This is the SEC Insider Hit. Presented by your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Go local. Go with a home team.
First Messenger and now Shock. Best hitter and player in the SEC Conference is at the plate.
Let's see where this next pitch is, because this could just be one of those big old unintentional, intentional walks, you know, just don't give him anything good to hit.
He did, and that one is driven to right, and it is deep, and it is gone! Tanner Allen, a 3-run home run. Mississippi State, 5 runs in the inning, and now lead it 5-4.
And good morning. Welcome in. We have the SEC Player of the Year live in the Bank Plus studio. Tanner Allen, TA, joining us for the rest of the show. Excited to have him in, part of the 2021 College Baseball National Championship team. And he joins us on the Bell's Two-Hearted L guest line. That was the hit against Virginia. 3-run bomb late in the game. And TA joins us on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We'll be giving away a signed baseball from TA and Tanner Allen this hour and next hour. And just text us or tweet or Facebook or whatever that you have downloaded the Out of Bounds radio app. And if the signal's bad this morning, just flip over to the Out of Bounds radio app and stream it. Or you can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. All right, TA, so you were talking a little bit about recruiting, your recruitment, and you were committed to LSU for, what, year and a half or so?
I was. I committed to LSU, I want to say the end of my sophomore year in high school.
Okay.
Andy
Cannizzaro?
Andy Cannizzaro.
Okay.
Yes.
And so he's the lead recruiter at that time.
He was.
For LSU. And you go over there a good bit, I guess.
I do. It's closer to my house.
Yeah. Go to Alex Box. Great place to watch baseball.
Yeah.
And so you're committed there, but MSU's recruiting you during this time.
It was between LSU, MSU, and Auburn.
Okay. And then Cannizzaro gets the job like the week of signing day or somewhere near that.
I think it was the day.
Okay.
Or the day before.
And so then you say, all right, this is the guy I know. I've known him for a while, and I'm going to think about it for a day or something.
Right.
And then, boom, what happened?
So I got the call, or my dad got the call that Andy Cannizzaro was going to be the head coach at Mississippi State, and he wanted me to come with him. So I instantly, first thought that came to my mind was, man, everybody at LSU who's there now on that coaching staff has never seen me play. Right. So I'm going to be behind the 8 ball there anyways if I go. And Candy loved me, man. Like I said, he texted me before Game 3 of the National Championship, and the first words of it was to my most favorite all-time favorite recruit.
Nice.
So I talked to him a little bit. But anyways, so I was like, man, I want to play for this guy because he's going to give me a chance to play from day one. That's what he told me. So I had to make the phone call to Maneri, or he called me actually wondering why I did not sign.
Tanner,
that day.
This is Coach Paul Maneri.
Yeah.
Have I missed something?
Yeah.
Wait, do the voice that you did yesterday for us when it was Maneri?
Yeah, it was like, Coach, he's like, Tanner, why, it's signing day. You haven't signed yet. And I was like, this is going to be a tough one here. So I was like, Coach, I'm just going to let you know. I know that Coach Cannizzaro got the head coach job at Mississippi State, and I just don't like coming to LSU without any of your coaches or you personally seeing me play. I feel like I'll be behind the 8 ball. I think I want to decommit from LSU. And the first thing that came out of his mouth was, nobody's ever decommitted from LSU. And I'm like, I don't blame you. It's an unbelievable program. It's a great city.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's just not for me. So it was like, and I remember, I'm not going to go through everything he said, but I remember one thing that he told me is like, if you go to Mississippi State, and I swear it was like the next day, signed Mississippi State. So it was fun.
All right, so you had not been – we're visiting with Tanner Allen on the Out of Bounds show. You can watch the show on YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. You had not been to Dudy Noble Field?
Never.
Okay. So you signed in November of your senior year with Mississippi State. When Do you go that spring or you get there that summer?
So
How does that work?
instantly, this is going to be good right here. So right when I signed, they send me to a summer league in Bethesda, Maryland. And I'm playing on a team called the Bethesda Big Train, which is a very good team, very good summer ball league. I'm not playing that much. I'm just there to get about 60 or 70 at bats. So I'm not playing every day, just kind of hanging out, getting used to college guys because I'm young, right?
Yeah.
And actually the number one pitcher on our team, the top dog, pitcher of the league, is Steven Schock.
Virginia pitcher.
Yes. Yes. So this guy's like, man, I'm watching him play. I'm like, their pitch. I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't have to face this guy. He's very good. You know what I mean? He's mowing everybody down, doing the same kind of antics, throwing his glove everywhere, going crazy. I'm like, this guy loves it. I'm like, I want that guy to be our closer on my team,
Right.
you know, in college. So I'm like, God, I hope I never have to face him. And then I come up this year and hit the home run off of him. But
So
it's pretty wild.
that's summer going into your freshman year, I guess.
Summer going to my freshman year. It was a rough summer, man. I struggled some. It was a big learning curve. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't playing every day. And I was kind of aggravated to coach. I was like, man, I play every day, you know, where I've played every day my whole life. I want to play every single day. But the bigger picture was Candy wanted me to get like 60 or 70 at bats.
Gotcha.
And so then I go to state.
So that worked out.
It worked out. I had a good time, met some guys that I still talk to today. Coaches, they were really good people. So I had a blast up there.
And Steven Schock is hilarious on Twitter.
Absolutely hilarious.
And we're talking about the Virginia pitcher that if you just heard the intro, Tanner Allen hit a 3-run bomb on him in the College World Series. But TA that's incredible that he had played on his team summer going into his freshman year. All right, so you go to you do fall ball freshman year, true freshman year, right? Yeah.
Right.
How'd that go?
So my fall was going great, man. I was tearing the cover off the ball. Candy and Goat, they were loving it, man. I was swinging the bat very well. And then we were actually scrimmaging one day. It's probably like our second or third scrimmage inside in the Palmera because we don't have a field right at the time.
That's right.
They're rebuilding the stadium.
Yeah.
And I remember I think I'm playing second base, and we get in a rundown. Jake Mangum is in a rundown in between first and second, and I dive to tag him, and when I do, he spikes my left knee.
Ouch.
I get 20 stitches. Missed the rest of the fall. Which I told you last night. I was like, man, I'm fine with that. I'll put on a show for a couple of weeks. They love it. And now I'm just going to work out the rest of the fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
so 20 stitches.
Oh yeah, it was rough.
Man.
I remember I looked down. I knew it. I got spiked. I didn't know how bad it was. I looked down my pants rip and I could see like my kneecap.
Ugh.
It was bad, man. It was bad. Like people around me were like, I knew it was bad when I looked around my teammates above me and their faces were pale and like looking. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no. So, but yeah, that was bad. I went straight to the doctor like that day. Got stitched up and I was in a straight leg brace for like 2 months. I felt like it was rough.
Really?
It might have been shorter than that, longer than that. I'm not sure, but I was in a straight because it was a rough spot, man. I couldn't bend my knee. My stitches would pop.
Oh, that sounds miserable.
It was miserable.
Okay. And then your freshman year, did you start from the jump?
I started from the jump.
Blake, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And where did you start? Third?
So, opening night, Southern Miss, I played third base. And I think I hit in like this 8-hole or 7-hole somewhere in there.
All right.
He bounced around all over the field
I
his
did,
first couple
my freshman
years.
year.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And then, so you go through that and y'all lose. Obviously, the transition happens. We're not going to do a deep dive into that. But then you get Coach Henderson and Coach Gotro, and y'all are getting smoked your freshman year.
On a daily basis.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things going on. I mean, you lose your head coach, but you also, as you mentioned last night, you couldn't practice as much as you wanted on the field because, as you just said, the new stadium was being built.
We were practicing on softball intramural fields.
That's incredible.
It was. I remember having live at bat. We'd do practice. We'd have live at bats over there, where the fraternity boys, they have their softball tournaments. That's where we were practicing.
And then all of a sudden, after getting swept by Vanderbilt, things change in 2018.
They did. Like I said, Vanderbilt came in, and I told you last night they put it on us. And I remember at the time the locker room was at a place where you had to go through the center field wall to get to it. And I remember leaving the field and the fans, just man, some of the old fans, they're obviously not happy. We just got swept home by Vanderbilt. And I remember it's like, just leave them bats in the locker room. You don't ever need them again. Y'all can't use them. I just remember that in my head. I'm like, man, these people are brutal out here.
And you still hadn't experienced a big Duty Noble Field crowd because of
the stadium went all the way
The stadium
down.
was just kind of like a hodgepodge of whatever the heck was going on, right, Blake?
They couldn't even do second-level seating that whole
Yeah.
season, if you remember. It was only the first level and the sides, and they had some portion of the outfield done, but I don't think it was completely done.
Another thing I learned, though, if you're not winning, they ain't showing up.
Yeah.
Too. You know what I mean? I've been through that. Like, obviously, the last couple of years, we've been very good, so we've had big crowds. But I told her, I'm like, guys, I've been here when we were like 2-7 in SEC or 3-7 SEC play. I'm like, they don't want to come watch us get beat.
Right. All right, so that season plays out. You end up turning the corner, and you go to the super regional super regionals in Omaha.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I'll never forget being in the dugout when Big Hit Matt came up and hit the home run with two strikes, 2 outs.
Florida State.
We're down to our last strike, man. Boom, he hit it. And I said, "There's no way." I remember I was standing next to Hunter Stovall, and I was like, "Man, this has been an unbelievable first year." You know, it was fun, man. And then boom, I said, "Never mind."
I guess we'll keep playing.
Yeah, we keep going.
Tanner Allen on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And so that year, you got to go on the road to FSU and to Vanderbilt.
Man, that was tough. That was
for the Super Regional.
tough.
In what a lot of baseball people say is the best super regional in the history of college baseball.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be. But how about the regional? So we go to Tallahassee. We lose game 1 like 20-19 or something. Like, it was wild. Oklahoma scored 20 on us. So we had to go all the way through the losers bracket. And I remember this is a good story. I remember it was the last game. I can't remember what day it was. Anyway, it was game 3. It was between us and Oklahoma, I believe. And we didn't have any pitching left, like none, absolutely none. And I remember Hindu in the dugout, like looking around, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And
Hang on, what options do we have?
And JP France goes up to him and is just like, "Give me the ball." And I think he went 7 1/3 or something like that.
That's
And
incredible.
Pilkington comes in to close the door, and next thing you know, we're like, we're going to the Supers.
JP France.
Yeah.
I don't think I had ever heard that name. Blake probably had. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm talking about stepping up, Blake, right? A guy gets the ball, goes 7 1/3 in the well, is he probably the 10th pitcher on the team? Or
we talked. He's a bullpen guy too.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
even a
he's a bullpen
starter.
guy.
Maybe we started some midweek stuff, but I think it's interesting, and this was a great segue into another topic about just Mississippi State baseball and Tanner, and obviously a guy who we've had on the show a lot, Jake Mangum. But JP France wanting the ball like that, Brent Rooker and that team, even before you got there at Southern Miss, kind of battling adversity, going through that whole season with an interim coach, coming back the next year with a brand new coach, there's something about this program that has this line through it that is just this vein of, we don't care who, what, when, where. We're throwing the gloves on, and we're going to fight you till we can't stand up.
That's right.
Or as Dan Campbell says, we're going to bite your kneecap off. We're going to get knocked down. We're going to bite your other kneecap off. And I think we asked this question, Bo, you and I asked, and we can get what, it's a great time to ask Tanner, is the leadership factor of Jake Mangum was very well publicized and well known. You were there with him for 2 seasons. You didn't get a junior season, 16 games. COVID cancels it. So we never see what leadership that team had. Then you come back, and you're trying to still fill that void that is so big that is Jake Mangum, and yet you not only fill it well, but you maybe even supersede what anyone's realistic expectations were.
That's a good point.
What is it about the program that you can go through this 6-year stretch, 4 different head coaches, you never don't make it to Omaha, and you finally wrap it up with a title? What is that vein that runs through Mississippi State baseball?
It is like the players setting the foundation of what Mississippi State baseball is. And for me, that was Jake Mangum when I got there. Jake always did things the right way. Like I said last night, when you're on the field with Jake Mangum, you're like, man, I got to bring my game. I'm on the field with Jake. You know what I mean? That's how I wanted to be, because when you're great players make people around them be great.
Yes.
And that was the ticket, man, because I remember, like, I'm a little freshman, and Jake Mangum's my locker buddy. He's right next to me, And the first time I met Jake, I'm like, "What's up, dude? I'm Tanner." And he didn't even respond to me. I'm like, what a guy. You know what I mean? But Jake's weird like that. He was probably thinking about something else and completely just zoned out.
Like a 2-2 count.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that's the thing, man. Like I said, Jake made everybody around him be great, because that's how he played. And that was one thing that I was able to take into this year.
Right.
No matter what we were doing or anything, I was always going to handle myself the best I could for the other guys to see.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because now this year coming up, somebody else is going to have to do that.
Well,
take that role.
you took that and you elevated Hancock and Logan Tanner and Cam James and Cumbus and so on because of what you just described.
100%.
You and Rowdy.
Exactly. Me and Rowdy. You lead by example.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a certain way we do things around there. You know what I mean? And that was every day at practice, we pay attention to every little detail. You got to, because the small things end up leading into bigger things to win a game. You know what I mean? So that's what Jake did for me. That was like I watched how he went about before games, how he went play during the game, how he would react when he was struggling.
Right.
Stuff like all that stuff, man. You learn. So that's how it keeps. It's just like a big boulder going down the hill, just one after another, next guy up. And this year, hopefully, it'll be fun to see who steps up this year, because every year somebody's going to have to do it, every single year.
I want to talk about you and Rowdy because y'all are kind of tied together.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all are obviously very close, right?
Yeah,
roommates
good
and all that
friends,
stuff.
So, yeah.
But would you say that y'all are total opposites or just kind of opposite personality-wise? How would you describe that?
I'd say total opposite. I mean, I don't have earrings. But hey, I love him to death.
Yeah.
But we're alike in a lot of ways. But I took him duck hunting for the first time, okay?
Right.
He was hooked on it. But now he just can't get out of bed to go. That's the problem.
He's not an early riser.
Coach Shalin would always call us like when school goes out and there's nobody up there except us, and we got practice every day, and you don't have to worry about get up, go to class. He'd always call me like, make sure Rowdy gets out of bed so he'll be at practice. I'm like, Coach, I got him. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Coach Lamonis
Coach
would do that?
Lim all the time. Like, y'all seen Rowdy today yet?
Oh man, that is so funny.
Rowdy, I'm telling you, man, Rowdy, he's a trip. Living with him's fun. I mean, he's probably the messiest person I know. Really,
now there was a debate on that.
Yeah, I know, but
are you messier or is he?
He is 100. Walk into his room and walk into my room. And
okay,
you can tell him. You can tell me.
Okay.
It was bad. I'm like, dude. Golly. Let's say if we had people come over, he wouldn't even send them to their restroom. He'd send them to mine. Let's put it like that.
That's incredible.
Tanner Allen talking about his good friend, teammate, and roommate, Rowdy Jordan on the Out of Bounds show. You can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We've been wanting to get Tanner's been busy, obviously. We've been wanting to get him in. This worked out well. They won the national championship. He got drafted by the Miami Marlins, and then played, and then so on and so forth. Kind enough to come in and hang out with us. Blake, do you want to piggyback off the Tanner Rowdy thing?
Yeah, it just it was well publicized, obviously, that you guys modified your uniforms this year, your baseball pants.
Okay.
And it was obviously the argument was who did it first and whose was cool, like whose idea was it, who's cooler. I know you said it makes you run faster. What else were some of the superstitions that maybe you and Rowdy or just you and your teammates shared, or some of the things that you did that were quirky, just like that was quirky? What were some of the other things that you did?
So, mainly, I'm just going to let you know, I came up with short pants. Yeah. But we both liked it. We were like, dude, that looks good. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't want mine that high. But they turned out that high. But I still thought it looked good. But, man, I always wore my left sock inside out. I'm going to tell you the story behind it.
Yeah, why?
Sophomore year, we're playing at Tennessee. I'm in this bad funk. I'm talking about bad. I'm hitting like 220. I'm getting blasted on Twitter. Okay, I'm like, well, I probably deserve it, and it was a Sunday game, and I remember going into BP, I tried something different, maybe loosen myself up just a little bit, and I ended up going 3 for 5 with a jack and a double, and that turned my season around right there. From that point on, man, I was on fire the rest of the year. And I got on the bus that day, and I looked, and I'm like, man, I got my left sock inside out after that day, so I'm like, from then on.
That's hilarious.
Baseball superstition.
I love baseball.
You do.
We're so weird.
Yep.
It's the greatest sport.
Yeah, obviously I couldn't do it with the stripe socks, but every other socks it was inside out.
Probably should have sophomore year in a slump, and then rakes against Tennessee.
That's funny.
And then boom, left sock inside out from there on.
What was one of the weirdest things a teammate did that you just kind of looked at and you're like we talk about Major League where he pours the rum and Jabu needs to get the bats going. Was there anybody who had a weird?
How about this? So Scotty DeBrule in between I think every 3 innings in the game, would go in the nutrition center and drink a protein shake. He'd be sitting in the dugout drinking a protein shake every 3 innings. Wow. 3 or 4, I can't remember.
Why?
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
He would. I'm like, dude, that would make me sick. I couldn't play with that stuff in my system.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's funny.
Scotty DeBrule knocking down protein shakes every 3 innings.
Little machine at second base, brother.
Dude, he was special, man.
Yeah. No, he's kind of the overlooked guy. I mean, this is a compliment, but you're a huge name, Rowdy, and then eventually Landon Sims emerged, and so on, Bednar. But DeBrule he's kind of an unsung hero on y'all's team from this past year, man. The way what he did at the plate, and then of course what he did at second.
He outdid my expectations this year.
Yeah,
let's put it like that. I knew he was going to be good. I knew he could swing it pretty good. He struggled early, that's everybody struggles. It's a game of struggling. I don't care who you are.
Jake says the same thing.
I don't care who you are. You can ask Derek Jeter, Chipper Jones, all those big-time guys. They struggled at one point in their career.
Yeah.
And anyways, so I kind of pulled Scotty aside. I can't remember if it was Auburn. It was one of those early SEC series. I'm like, look, you're going to be our second baseman, okay? Let's just ride this thing out and keep working. You're going to be our guy. Because, man, he is automatic in the field. Yeah. That's one thing people don't realize. That guy made every play. I cannot tell you off one hand. I do not remember an error he made. I don't.
And he was right in front of you.
Right in front of me. I don't remember him making an error. He probably made 1 or 2 this year, but I don't remember it. But another thing is, the game I hit the home run off shot in Virginia. Yeah. We go up. And if people might not remember, but later that inning, he had a big left-on-left hit to left center, scored another run. And the next inning, they hit a home run that would have tied the game if Scotty wouldn't have got that hit.
That's a great point.
And he was the catalyst to start that because he got on base on like a 9-pitch walk before Kellum Clark.
That's right. You and TA were talking about that last night.
He was gritty, man.
He's the glue guy. He is that glue guy where you look back in 10 years and you go, man, if you don't have a Scotty DeBrule, you're probably not going where you need to go. Because him and Forsythe in the middle, I mean, we talked about it.
What about dropping a true freshman at shortstop?
That's what I'm saying. And for them to go errorless in Omaha and be the first championship team to never commit an error in the history of college baseball, that's 70 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
2 kids who had never played baseball. Scotty DeBrule was a senior, but he had played at Jacksonville State, and Lane Forsythe is 19 years old.
Right.
That's incredible.
Man, the job Lane did was unbelievable. Like, given the circumstances, freshman playing at shortstop in the SEC. Like, obviously we knew. I told Lane, I said, Lane, you're going to struggle on offense. Everybody does.
Right.
I mean, it's just part of the game, but we need you at shortstop. We need you. Man, he outdid himself.
He had a great year.
Outdid himself.
Tanner Allen, SEC Player of the Year, national champion from Hale State, joining us live in the Bank Plus studio, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Tanner joins us on the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale guest line. He'll be with us for hour number 3, too. Now, jump in. We're giving away 2 signed baseballs from Tanner Allen to show us that you've downloaded the Out of Bounds radio app. Send them via the text line, 601-885-3776, or on Twitter @BowBounds or Facebook. Back another hour with TA.